don't think I have to ask you to smile. We have all day. We have all day.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Lachlan J. McKinnon.
Congratulations. Good job. Just,
Sierra Madden.
way to go, Sierra. Enjoy.
Rachel Madigan.
Hi, Rachel. Congratulations. Let's come on over here. We'll get a photo op. She's from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I heard of her before.
She's not really used to cameras,
Not too
though.
good.
Katrina Manis.
Katrina, congratulations. Good job. Take a pic here. Okay. Enjoy.
Camila Martinez.
Congratulations. Okay, take a picture here. I think this person wants a pic too. Okay.
Joelle Matthews.
Congratulations. Well done. Here, we're going to take a picture. Looking good. So I got to keep working.
Yes, I do.
Keep learning.
David McDonald.
Yeah, David. Good job, man. What'd you study? Okay, excellent.
Carolyn Christina McGee.
Carol, nice to meet you. Congratulations. Just take a pic here. Well done. Enjoy.
Montana Mallet.
His popularity.
Yeah.
Good job. Let's enjoy.
Christine Jane Mongrel.
Christine, congratulations. Let's take a picture here. This guy's from the International Press Corps. He's a professional.
He looks like
Enjoy.
William Michael Moody.
William? Is it William Bill? Mike, actually. Oh, Mike. Okay, Mike. We got it 3 times. Good job. Congratulations. Enjoy.
Dylan Morningstar.
We got some fans going. Okay, let's take a pic here. It's for the press corps over here. Congratulations.
Cole Murdoch.
Sorry, the first name? Cole. Cole. Way to go. Good job. Keep at it.
Erica Narismagi.
Erica, congratulations. Well done. Don't fall off the stage with those shoes.
Hannah Isabel Neff.
Thank you so much.
That's my wife's name. Good name. What'd you study?
Duke Hien Win.
Good job. Well done. Just take a picture here. Hey, look at me. That guy's got one fancy camera. You hired him? He's a pro. Isn't he? Enjoy.
Jennifer Gale Nicholson.
Jennifer, congratulations. Well done. Let's take a picture. What's the scarf? Congratulations.
Laura Elizabeth Panasek.
Laura, congratulations. Just take a picture. What'd you study?
I studied business studies. Thank you.
Jennifer Patterson.
Congratulations, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Put that up.
Brianne Sarah Peters.
Brianne, congratulations. Well done. I know how hard it is. Look
Can
at
we
it.
look right there?
Oh, yeah, you bet. These are professionals, right? You hired these guys?
Thank you.
Keep working.
Michelle Peters.
Congratulations. Let's just get a pick here. Right.
Kayla Pincivero.
Kayla? Good job. What'd you start?
Eric Jacob Edward Pratcher.
Eric? Well done. Good job. Take a pick. What's next for you?
Nathan Ryan Prendergast.
Congratulations. Good job. Let's get a pick. What's next?
Janelle Prentice.
Jen. Let's get a picture. Enjoy.
Murtaza Rizvi.
Martaz, good job. Let's take a picture. Good work with the shades, too. Wish I had.
Madeline Ross.
Well done, Maslin. Good job. Let's take a picture. What's next for you?
Natasha Lee Ross.
So which? Natasha. Congratulations. Well done. Good job.
Jennifer Heather Teresa Roden.
Should we call security? Congratulations. Enjoy. Who's this person?
My mom.
You think? I would have.
Brandon
Yes.
Rowe.
Hey, Brandon. Good job, man. Let's photo op here. Enjoy.
Ellie Ruggles.
Just get up. This is a good one. Shaking hands. Picture. Enjoy.
Victor Kendrew Russon.
Congratulations. So, what's your first? Victor. Well done. What's next for you? Jobs.
Sabrina Sapal.
Maybe not. Was that a noisemaker? Well done. Congratulations. Good job.
Amy Olivia Sales.
Amy. Good job. Way to go. Just take a picture, shall we? What's next for you?
Lauren Ashley Smart.
Is it Laura? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's take a pic. Okay, enjoy.
Thank you.
Kayla Lisa Stonefish.
Kyla. Let's take it. We'll get it. Was it good? All right. Enjoy.
Adam Schmidt.
Hey, Adam. Good job.
Matthew Seeby.
Congratulations, man. Take a picture. What's next? Master's here. So, back up.
Kelsey Secord.
Well done. You got a proud mom.
That's my mom!
Brooke Elizabeth Cirola.
Sorry, what's your first name? Brooke. Congratulations. Well done. Put this up. Later. Enjoy.
Sidney William Harry Smith.
Congratulations. Well done. We're going to take a picture here. All right. Enjoy.
Jade Victoria Steele.
Jake? Yeah. Congratulations. Well done.
Caitlin Stevenson.
Caitlin, good job. Have fun.
Gregory John Stuhlin.
Greg. Greg? Hello again.
That's my mom right there.
No, we'll get her. This guy first. Right.
And there.
There's mom.
And there.
Charles Sullivan.
Charles? Charles. Well done. Good job. What'd you take?
That's all right. So we can tell.
11-year degree. Hey, might as well stretch it out.
I did an 11-year, 4-year degree.
Nurusha Sadhaskaran.
Congratulations. Well done. Just gonna take a picture. Keep at her, okay?
Stacy Van Fleet.
You'll die.
Healy Karina Vanaselia.
Congratulations. Well done. Take a picture. Yeah. Have fun.
Catherine Van Dam.
Kathleen, congratulations. Good job. Let's get a picture. Enjoy. You deserve it.
Erica Louise Waters.
Yo, Eric.
Jesse Wadham.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this. Jesse. Yeah.
Let's get a picture.
You've been doing this all day. Are you bored yet?
Oh, I got 4 days.
Oh.
I'm not bored. I love everyone.
Brianne Whitecross.
Oops, we're going to take a picture right here. Got to capture this. There's someone down there reading an iPad. I don't know what that's all.
Justin Wissian.
Good job. Thank you. Way to go. Let's take a pic, shall we? Enjoy.
Thank you.
Have fun tonight.
Cheng Yuan.
Congratulations. Get a picture here. That one's going on the interweb.
Haley Brienne Bruff.
Way to go, baby girl. Let's take a picture here. Oops. It's not used to cameras.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Abdulaziz Al-Suwailam.
Congratulations. Good job. It's an honor to meet you. Thanks. Here we go. Who's this guy? It's my friend. Well done. Well done.
Jordan
Enjoy.
Curtis Hill.
Good job. Way to go. Got some other.
Yeah, right in the middle. Thank you.
You hired these people?
I
They're
did.
pros, are they?
Alana Elizabeth Lamb.
Congratulations. Enjoy.
Fernando Mario Mercado Malabet.
Fernando, good job. Come on around. We're going to take a picture. I think this guy wants it. Good job.
Kayla Maureen McCullough.
Congratulations. Should we call security on this?
Yeah.
Enjoy. Well done.
Itai Wesley Main.
Good job. What'd you study? I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good.
Tyler Partland. Daniel Shamim.
There you go, good job. Yeah, we're gonna take a picture here, okay? Enjoy, have fun.
Please join me in congratulating the recipients of both the Bachelor of Arts degrees in the Honors Program and the Bachelor of Science degrees in the Honors Program. Mr. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the General Program candidates whose names will be read, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands. Jenny Bertrand.
Jenny, congratulations, baby girl. Take a picture. You get a proud dad. You're fortunate. Enjoy.
Ashley Bonner.
Congratulations. Good job. Take a picture. All right, enjoy it.
Kelly Botry.
Good job, Kelly. Congratulations. Photo op time.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day.
Desiree Boucher.
Desiree, congratulations.
Thank you.
What'd you study?
Sociology.
Good. That was mine.
Emma Bullen.
Emma, good job. Look, let's get a pic here. I should smile. I don't think that's going to be yours. I was reading an iPad there. Wasn't that weird?
Paige Burton.
Sorry, you for things? Hey, very nice. Let's take a pic. So congratulations. Well done.
Margaret Clayton.
Good job, Maggie. Let's take a picture.
Okay. Thank you.
Paige Cleary.
I think your dad's here, in case you didn't know.
Thank you.
Nicholas Krieger.
Nicholas? Nick? There he is. Photo op. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Caitlin Susan Crow.
Congratulations, Kate. I think you got some fans out there. Enjoy. You worked hard.
Kathleen Johanna Goodman.
Catherine, congratulations. Good job. Let's just get a picture, okay? What's next?
Mackenzie Ann Gunn.
Congratulations. Take a picture. What's next for you?
Ming Yang Ha.
Congratulations. Let's take a picture here. What'd you study?
Alexandra Tasha Lamb.
You know that man? Congratulations. I think he's kind of proud.
Pamela Antonia Rochelle Lawrence.
Congratulations. Well done. Love your shoes. What's next for you?
Ashley Teresa LeBlanc.
Sasha. Come on in. We're gonna take a picture. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Thi Hua Lu.
Congratulations. Let's take a picture right here. What did you study? Enjoy.
Chelsea Eileen Margaret Liver.
Yeah, Chelsea. Congratulations. Those shades are awesome.
Morgan Brittany Parker.
We have to say hi to that
Hi,
person.
Mom.
I thought it was, well, married or something.
Justin Pash.
Way to go, Justin. Good job. Let's get a pick. Well done.
Jade Shepard.
Jake, congratulations. Good job. What's next for you?
Kate Sutton.
Let's take a pic here with this date. I think there's some paparazzi out here. Pictures here. Where it's going to this journal. Enjoy.
Stephanie Thompson.
Stephanie, congratulations. Let's take a picture. Joe? What's next for you? Yeah, pretty good.
Amberly Thompson.
Yay, Emily. Congratulations. Thank you. Take a picture here. And then there's a paparazzi over here. Okay. Enjoy.
Gay Josephine Vallis. Jade Wallace. Tyler Edward Wallace.
Tyler? Good job. So ready. Congratulations.
Edward Welpdale.
Good job. Okay. We played on the rugby.
Did once upon a time.
William Willis.
Congratulations. The bill was good. Good. Get that machine. We got one down here too. Enjoy.
Elizabeth Wright.
Well done. Let's take a picture. We got one here too. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Please join me in congratulating the recipients of Bachelor of Arts degrees in the general program. Mr. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the general program candidates whose names will be read, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands. Maura Ann Brannigan.
Maura, congratulations. Let's just get a pic here.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Jaspreet Dinza.
Is it Jess? Congratulations. Let's get a picture. Just enjoy yourself. That was-
Victoria Ashley Doxey.
Victoria. Let's get a picture. Okay.
Anthony Figliano.
Anthony, congratulations. Good job. And what was your teacher?
Biology.
Joshua Matthew Layevsky.
Your man job.
Yeah, right.
Let's enjoy it. Congratulations.
Patrick Joseph Terrence Wheeler.
Yay, Patrick. Good job. Congratulations. Sounds like a relative.
Husband.
Great job.
Please join me in congratulating the recipients of Bachelor of Science degrees in the general program. Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to confer degrees in absentia on candidates whose names are before you and who are unable to be with us today. I now call upon Provost and Vice President Academic Gary Bois to recognize students who have achieved remarkable success in their studies.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Chancellor, I would like to draw attention to the Medals and Honours section at the back of the Convocation program. Mr. Chancellor, the Dean's Honour Roll recognizes students who have achieved 80% or better in their most recent session and have maintained a cumulative average of 75% or higher. In the program, a small double cross identifies those graduates who achieved this distinction. A small single cross identifies those students who are on the President's Honour Roll for having maintained a cumulative average of 80% or better. Please join me in congratulating the members of both the Dean's Honour Roll and the President's Honour Roll for their outstanding performance. The Governor-General's Silver Medal is awarded to an honours student with the highest academic standing on graduation. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you to present the Governors-General Silver Medal to a very, very special undergraduate who's been with us for 4 years and is now going off to the University of Toronto to pursue a PhD in economics. It is my great personal pleasure to present Du Hian Nguyen, winner of the Governor-General's Silver Medal, Bachelor of Arts, Honours in Economics. He's very popular. The Simons Medal recognizes students in the honors program who achieve high overall standing on graduation. It's named in honor of Trent University's founding president, Professor Tom Simons, who was with us this morning and unfortunately wasn't able to make it this afternoon. So, Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you to present the Simons Medal to another very special student, Jennifer Rowden, Bachelor of Arts, Honours in Business Administration and Economics. Jennifer? The Trent University Distinguished Research Award recognizes significant contributions to scholarly research. I now call upon Professor Emeritus David Morrison to introduce the recipient of this year's Distinguished Research Award. David?
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, graduates, and guests. The International Studies Department was very fortunate when we hired Dr. Haroon Akram Lodi as a full professor in 2006. He was already an internationally acclaimed scholar on the political economy of agrarian relations, and his research record since coming to Trent has been consistently distinguished. An economist by training, Haroon has undertaken work that is impressively interdisciplinary and global in perspective, yet well-grounded in fieldwork in Pakistan, Vietnam, and other countries. His monographs, his edited books, his more than 60 book chapters and articles, and numerous reviews and commentaries have focused on several challenges in developing countries. Among them, rural livelihoods, food security, poverty and vulnerability, and development planning that is participatory, environmentally sound, and gender sensitive. He has been widely cited, and many of his publications are considered landmarks for their depth of analysis, rigor, and practical significance. He is on the editorial and advisory boards of several academic journals and is currently editor-in-chief of the Canadian Journal of Development Studies. Haroon's intellectual and organizing capacities have been recognized by numerous international agencies and governments that have sought his expertise as a consultant. But much more, he is a public intellectual who believes strongly in communicating his scholarly work to the wider community. In addition to giving guest lectures and participating in academic conferences in university settings, he has been active in policy-oriented gatherings of decision-makers and practitioners and has spent time in the Global South offering United Nations courses and other services. Haroon has not just been globetrotting. He has made great contributions to our students and to the university. His teaching has been highly regarded and inspirational, both in the large introductory course in International Development Studies and in a course on food and agrarian relations. He has chaired the department for several years. He has also been instrumental in bringing to Trent and the broader Peterborough community outstanding speakers for the annual David Morrison Lecture in International Development. When asked to comment on Haroon's nomination, several well-known scholars and practitioners responded enthusiastically. One of them wrote, quote, "He is fully committed to an active academic life and to the betterment of the well-being of the disadvantaged, marginalized, and poor. The fertility and quality of his research will certainly enhance Trent University's international reputation." Mr. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present to you for the Distinguished Research Award, Professor Haroon Akram Lodi.
He's very popular too. At this point, I'd like to ask that all past winners of the Distinguished Research Award who are on the podium to please stand and be acknowledged. Mr. Chancellor, Emeritus is an honorary title given to professors upon their retirement from the university. Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to confer the title of Professor Emeritus upon Professor Alina Heitlinger of the Sociology Department. Don? Mr. Chancellor, Professor David Newhouse will now introduce the honor song. David?
Before all words can be spoken, we bring greetings to all of creation, and we give thanks for another day of life. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored guests, elders, graduates. In the custom of the first peoples of this land, we offer the sound of the drum and our voices to honor our mother, the earth. We send our profound and deepest thanks to all of creation. And we ask her to continue to support life as she has since time out of memorial. In our teachings, the sound of the drum represents the heartbeat of the universe. The original sound of creation infuses our being and reverberates still throughout the universe. We sound the drum today to connect us with all of creation, to celebrate life, and to honor those among us who have achieved so much. We offer these words of praise to those who are graduating this day. We offer these words of thanksgiving to those who have made these accomplishments possible. We offer these words of respect to those who have come before us and who have brought dignity to our lives. We offer these words to remind us to live with kindness, honesty, sharing, courage, and respect. We offer these words to honor Elder Michael Thrasher, who brought traditional knowledge and wisdom to the Academy so that new generations might learn. Today, we offer this song so that the scars inflicted on all of us by Indian residential schools can heal and we can find ways to live well. And we offer this song to accompany you on your travels, and may you travel well, and may your lives be filled with grace and dignity. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored guests, elder, graduates, I have the pleasure of presenting Unity. They will sing a song called Horse Giveaway, a Cree honor song which is said to cause horses and grass to tremble. This song is sung at the time of giving away of one's best horse. I ask you to stand for the honor song.
Yeah!
And thank you, Unity. We've now given away our best, and we've honored you. May you travel well, and may you be well.
Mr. Chancellor, I would like to invite Ms. Shelley Knott Fife of the Trent University Alumni Association to welcome the graduating class. Shelley?
Bonjour. Anin, Langwagan Dijnakaz, Curve Lake, Dunjaba, Nagig Dodam. Hi there, I'm Shelley Knott Fife, Miigwech Unity. Done my heart good. Foremost, today I speak in honor and remembrance of the Binojisug, the children, the students who experienced Canada's residential school system. My father's four oldest sisters and brothers went, and it still impacts us today. And in honor also of the Quawag, the missing sisters, Pamapi. I want to begin by thanking Bob Taylor Vassy, the president of the Trent University Alumni Association, for this opportunity and honor today to be here to welcome the class of 2015 to the Alumni Association of Trent University. Bingan, that's what we would say at home. Welcome, come on in. I grew up on Curve Lake First Nation just down the road. And growing up on a First Nation on the res, at least two wisdoms are instinctive, if not instilled. The first is that you must give back to the community as you go on your life's journey. Second, learning, and I know you don't want to hear this, but learning is a lifelong process at this point. I've spent a good part of my life, professional life so far, working just to give back to my community, especially through the field of education. I was in the first class of teachers to graduate from Trent's part-time Bachelor of Education program at the young age of 44. I was, and that was 10 years ago, so I don't mind telling you. I was mother of two, and I was managing full-time the education department at Curve Lake First Nation, so yeah, you sweat. Learning does take a lifetime. I hope you never lose that lust for learning. Today, the term community can encompass the city or village of your youth, of your current residence, of your profession, or even one within a social media page. Wherever your community finds you, I ask that you remember your Trent community and maybe come back and continue that lifelong learning process. Miigwech, thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. As this ceremony draws to an end, it's time to thank some people. I want to mention some people, and I'll ask everybody here to help me thank them. Let me begin by thanking Joanne Sokolowski and the team that planned and organized the events today. Joanne? Secondly, I'd like to thank the Unity Singers for presenting the honor song. I'd like us to thank all the Trent faculty, the staff, and the members of the board for all you do for students. And I have one last thank you, and I'm going to ask the graduates to stand for a moment, and I want them to lead this thank you. And what I want to note to the graduates is that there's another group of people, and they're all sitting out there. And this is your support network. It's your family. It's your friends. They have provided emotional support when you needed emotional support. Being a parent, I'll say they probably provided even more than emotional support when it was necessary. You're here because of what they've done, so I want you to lead us in a round of applause for your parents, friends, and family who are here today. That's great. Thank you. You can be seated. Congratulations to all our new alumni who are sitting here, including Dr. Thrasher. Congratulations to all of those who've received special recognition this afternoon. I'd like to invite everybody here to join us for a reception in the Great Hall of Champlain College following the ceremony. After the convocation ends, the procession will leave the stage following the singing of O Canada. I'd like to ask you to remain standing until the procession has departed. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you now to dismiss convocation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, as the ceremony draws to a close, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. And I don't know, it may just be me, but this entire audience is looking a little better tanned than when we started out a couple of hours ago. And graduates, on a very personal note, it's been a real honor to see your shining faces come across the stage and to shake your hand and to be photographed with you. Now, a very important thing to remember about these photographs is, should you put them on Twitter, remember, my name is @DTapscott on Twitter. I'm trying to catch up with Ashton Kutcher for followers, so I need your help. Now, graduates, I know I speak on behalf of all parents and friends and family, faculty, staff, guests here today, that it has been an honor to be part of your ceremony, and you all deserve to be very, very proud of yourselves. And this convocation marks the end of one chapter in your life and the beginning of another. And no matter where that chapter takes you, Trent will always be an important part of who you are. It's kind of in your DNA now, in a sense. And I'd just like to tell you a story about that. You see, after I hitchhiked over here and I decided to go to Trent, after 4 years, I graduated, and I was well equipped. And I went out into the workforce, and eventually I succeeded in some ways. But I lost touch with the university. And it was a couple of decades, really, before it occurred to me, you know, this little institution on the autonomy has actually been really, really critical in the success and the impact that I've been able to have in life. And I decided to become involved again, not out of a sense of obligation or out of a sense of opportunity, for which there have been many, networking and experiencing things like today, but more out of a sense that this is an important little institution, and it deserves being defended and advanced and developed and cherished. And I decided to get involved, and it's been a great joy to me. So I hope you won't make the same mistake that I did, to drop off the face of the earth as far as Trent was concerned for a while, and that you'll continue your relationship. And we do have this wonderful thing called the internet now that some of you parents may not know about this, but it's going to be very big. And I am going to invest. I'm just waiting for it to take off. But that it helps you collaborate and to keep in touch. And it's a wonderful thing. Let me close with a couple of thoughts. First of all, this morning, Dr. Peter Raymond, one of the great documentary filmmakers of all time, received an honorary degree. And he said something that I thought was quite profound. He said to the graduates, I know you're all wondering about jobs, but don't worry. Allow destiny to find you. And I like to think of that as create the conditions whereby you can get lucky. Now, I mean that in a straight-up kind of sense. That what is luck? Luck is really the intersection of preparation and opportunity. And you've begun this process of preparation. And over time, opportunities will appear. And I'd encourage all the parents, be patient. You've made a good investment, not just in the time you spent raising this extraordinary class, but in helping them get an extraordinary education. And they're all going to get lucky, and they're all going to end up doing something fulfilling. You know, I was musing that when I graduated from Trent, I didn't really get a job for about 5 or 6 years after I graduated. Now, I do understand that times were different, and we weren't under the same kind of financial pressure that all of you are under. But strangely, my parents just kind of believed in me, and they created the conditions for me to kind of find my passion, and eventually things worked out well. So beyond your future, I'd like to say one word to close about the future. It's no surprise to any of you that the world that my generation is leaving you is not in the best shape, honestly. Kind of sorry about that. The world is too unequal, unsustainable, unjust, and unstable. And it's too conflicted, too. And your generation is being called upon by history, really, to do something about this. So indeed, be prosperous, as I said, but we need more from you. We need you to help solve many of the big problems that are facing every community, every country, and that are facing the world. As really, we're moving into a whole new period in human history, the end of the industrial era and the rise of a knowledge economy. And Canada is moving right now from being a resource-based economy, extraction of resources from the ground, to being an economy that's based on human capital and that's based on innovation. And I'm not suggesting that each of you become prime minister or try and be leader of the world to improve the situation. But change will happen everywhere. It'll happen in each of your families. It'll happen if you go and teach somewhere, in your organizations, in your community, in your research laboratories. And all of you will need to teach your children well. And I'm enormously optimistic, actually. The world seems to be a troubled place, but I've never had greater hope. And it's because of you. That you're a generation that is the smartest generation ever. You've got extraordinary capabilities, and at your fingertips you have the most powerful tools ever for innovation, for problem solving, for finding out what's going on, for transparency, for organizing collective responses to problems. And this equips you well to bring about the kind of change that we need in the world. So in the spirit of that, what I'd like to do, if I could, is just take a little selfie with you guys, if that's okay. I'll just have to... Okay. So could you all rise, please? And then clap your hands in the air and go like. Awesome. That's going on the interweb. If you want to find a parent, you go to the Google. It's this place. You ask it questions and stuff. I may put an Instagram up, too. The Twitterverse for sure. So, seriously, I am optimistic about the future. And in you today, I can see your passion, your desire that will bring you your next endeavors and hopefully enable you to live that principled life of consequence. Go proud. Go make your mark in the world. Reach for the stars and make us proud. Convocation is now dismissed.